Let's keep going on the clown show here. Jesus, I can't even believe this shit, man. Yesterday I got a hold of the 2021 salaries. The year that all the executives got to stay at home, basically. And I was looking through them, and let me tell you that in 2012, was it 2012? Well, whenever McFarland did that interview with, it might have been 2008. I'm not sure, but whenever McFarland gave that interview to Gianola, oh, actually, I have that. I don't know where it is, but it's on this blog somewhere. He was making $212,000. Okay, and now, Kelsey. Uh, Dessous is making 365,000. So his wages have gone up 1/3 in 10 years, basically. Uh, have your wages gone up 1/3? No, you've barely gone up 10% in all that time. Not even that. That's just cost of living. But look at this, man. Look at this. Brookshire got 262,000 last year. Hoskins got 205,000 last year. Oliver got 196,000. Sewell got 215,000. Werder got 210,000. He's making what the general manager, whoever this guy is, got 207,000. McHugh got 261,000. I think he's the IT guy. Devine got 256,000. Kelsey. Okay, well, look at this. So Kelsey got 251,000 in 21, and Dessous is getting 365,000 today. That's outrageous, man. That salary is 363% higher than the average and 309%. And these goddamn executives. I mean, there's rows and rows of this. Okay, if you wanna look at this yourself, you can look it up. Here, where is it? It's right here. It's on my blog. It's called under TRIMET salaries on the right hand side here with all these. You can look them all up here, and you can scroll through them. All of these people here are making. These are the top wages. I don't know what to say, but I mean, come on, hold on. I mean, they're going around trying to pretend that they need the money or they're going to go out of business. I mean, it's an insult. It's insulting. It's insulting. How much does this guy make? Assistant supervisor? How much do they make? $134,000 for a goddamn assistant supervisor? I mean, God almighty, man. How much does this rail operator make? I mean, if there's a lot of six-figure employees in here now, too. 138,000. It's like everybody's making six figures now over there. And they're going around, they're actually planning to raise your fares. It's obscene. It's obscene. It's an obscenity. But this is the world we're living in right now. We're ruled by crooks who are stealing your money for the benefit of these people. They're poaching the money from the poorest people possible to give to these people. It's criminal, folks. All right, I'm gonna write. Hold on, I wanna. It's goddamn criminal, and I want to know why Dessous' salary is so high. All right. Back to
Discusses thus far and talk specifically about some of these items.
Yeah, thanks, Bonnie. Really
Okay,
appreciate
we're I can't take it. I can't take it, folks.
Bonnie's leadership in this space.
Oh my God! Here they are sucking each other's dicks, even though she doesn't have one. Oh my God! It's so painful to watch this. It's like watching Biden. It's as painful as watching Biden. It's really that bad.
As well as Sam just really kind of stepping in to support and help us deal with some of the unprecedented challenges that are out there. Also really appreciate the team's efforts in this approach, which has really allowed us to effectively tap into some very capable leaders here at TRIMET to partner with us in some of these areas. And I think we're making some serious progress, which I get to share with you today. So next slide, please. Bonnie alluded to this earlier. We have been piloting what we have called a rapid response center, really since May, really trying to understand the kinds of ways we can support
I like his little post-it note. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 post-it notes. That's good. That's good.
24-hour call center. This, as Bonnie talked about, is really related to responding as fast as possible to security and system condition type issues, things biohazards, that sort of thing. So we can really get after that stuff as soon as possible. This is a process that we are thinking will migrate now into a security desk, as Bonnie talked about, which will be connected to our OCC and actually have a 24-hour response for security-related issues so that we can support our OCC and support our operations. So this is an exciting new thing. I will say with this, they're using our powerful surveillance system too to identify and isolate what those issues are in real time so we can send the right response. And that's been really innovative as well. So next slide, please. Thanks, Kim. One of the things that we really identified early, and this is earlier this year here at Skidmore Fountain, some of these pictures, you can see the really terrible conditions that were out there. Just before Saturday market opened, we went down here as an executive team and actually scoped this area out and kind of thought about ways to approach this differently. Houseless encampment sort of near and on our right-of-way is something that we have continued to experience alongside others in the community, and so we're trying to find ways to safely and reliably navigate through areas where there's...
Yeah, these criminals are criminalizing you. I just, one of my sources here has just sent me this. I'll read it to you. The Transit Police Division conducted a public safety mission at Gateway on November 1st. I don't think, did we see this? We must have. The mission focused on the platform and the surrounding park and ride lots. These locations at Gateway draw some of the most calls. During the mission, they had 20 officers and deputies made numerous contacts with community members. The crime reduction mission occurred between 4 and 8 p.m. According to the data, this 4-hour span is the time of the day in which the transit police receives the highest number. The mission resulted in 17 arrests. They went in there and they arrested 17 people, including reckless endangerment, eluding on foot, and felon in possession of firearms. They also arrested 2 people. So what are they doing? They're just doing random searches, like we can stop you, search you. Is that what they're doing now? It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, we already know where this country's headed. Oh my God. It's sick. What a sick society. And they're all, and all the people, all the dumbasses amongst us cheer this shit on. They don't realize that it's going to come back on them at some point.
Close encampment like this. We redeveloped, I think, some very good partnerships with the city of Portland and others to get out here and make sure that this is safe and reliable. And you can go to the next slide, please. This is what Skidmore looks like now. I don't know if you've been through it recently.
Well, that looks good. All right, they cleaned it up. That's good. That's good. Good. I'll give them credit. They cleaned it up. How hard was that to get a cleaning crew in there? How hard was it? It took you like 2.5 years to do that, huh? Great. And you got like what, 300,000 a year too?
It's a continuing, issue. We do have to readdress things occasionally, but we've got good surveillance capability to understand if there's encampment that's happening, encroaching again near the right of way, and we address that. But these are some of those efforts. Another one, if we go to the next slide, please, is down in Old Town. Again, with tents this close to right of way, encampment this close to right of way, you might recall some of the discussions Mayor Wheeler had and ODOT had regarding how close encampments were to just traffic right-of-ways and streets and highways, and really trying to limit that to keep people safe. We did similar things, and in partnership with the City of Portland have been able to accomplish a lot as we develop those kind of external relationships. And you can see the next slide in Old Town. This is what...
Yeah, they swept them right out of there. Attaboy. Sweep those dispossessed out. Get rid of those people. Throw them into Wheelerville. Oh, Jesus. It's painful to watch this, man.
A lot cleaner environment, not encampment encroaching on the right of way. So we're really proud of these efforts, and we're taking them to other areas in the city as well to ensure safe and reliable service. Next slide, please. This is Gateway East Precinct, and you were probably aware, but the Gateway neighborhood has been having some challenges recently. That spills onto the Gateway Transit Center, which is a key hub for our transit. So this has been an area that we've really honed in on. We moved our East Precinct with our transit.
And as I just mentioned, they went through there with an army of cops randomly. I'd like to know how they perform that. Of course, we never will.
Police division to an actual couple office spaces at the first floor of the Oregon clinic out there, which really well received by that group. They really opened that space up to us because they really wanted us to be there. We've been parking Multnomah County Sheriff's vehicles where that red line is. Sorry for the picture, but that's where they're parked normally. And that's just providing that visible presence by transit police in that area, which has been very well received so far. So it's just one of the strategies we identified through these groups. Next slide, please. This is also the Gateway Garage lighting upgrades that we focused in on. And some of these upgrades and this activity not only is informed by Executive Steering Committee, but also our Reimagine program too, as we try to think about areas that we can upgrade and make it safer for our folks. We'll go to the next slide. One of the things that the System Condition Group in particular honed in on early was the status of our trackway, particularly along the Banfield. There's been lots of litter and trash issues in the city of Portland and surrounding areas, as you guys are aware, but this was developing to a real issue along our trackway as well. And the team got together, worked through track access permitting issues, and really, did a phenomenal job out here of cleaning up our trackway recently, which also is not only is aesthetically sort of.
And why did it take you so goddamn long to do this? Okay, you're patting yourself on the back for things you should have done a long time ago.
Nice to look at, but there's safety issues with that much trash in a right of way as well, and so one of the teams, the System Condition team, did a really phenomenal job of cleaning this up. So if you look at the next slide, and if you ride out there right now, you're going to see a much different, cleaner presentation, and this is, we're setting up protocols to sustain that and keep it going. So very good work out there by the team. Next slide, please. So we're going to transition now out of kind of that slideshow, which hopefully you can kind of see the efforts that we're doing. Picture tells 1,000 words, and there's some good things. But I did want to transition because I talked to you guys about the increases in system presence that we're putting out there. And if you look at this trend line, even since we talked in August, we're at.
Oh God, it's just. I'm sorry for all you in the ditch. There's no help for you. You're going to die in the ditch. And all of these people here, this guy, this woman, most of the TriMet bus drivers will facilitate your death into the ditch, because that's the society we live in now. It's fucking unbelievable, man. I can't fucking.
Adding a lot of presence out there, and we hear this consistently from the community. They'd like to see more personnel out there.
And 9 out of 10 fucking Germans voted for Hitler, or supported Hitler. I have that bookmarked in my, yeah, the majority is always wrong, folks. You know that, right? It's always the case. The majority is always wrong. Always. Always. There's no exceptions to that.
You'll notice, and after I get to the next slide, you don't have to switch it yet, Kim, but oh, well, sorry. I set you up for that. So the blue line on that prior slide has held pretty consistent, and that is our TPD, Transit Police Division line. It's still at 18 staffing. You may recall we had a really supportive, good meeting with the Milwaukee City Council where they committed 2 additional officers. One will be here in December and another in June of next year, so that number will change there. But we, like the other transit police agency or police agencies in Oregon, are struggling to recruit, and that impacts our ability to actually bring transit police on board. On the positive side, out of Reimagine, we have been really developing a very good, robust, unarmed presence and different tools, which I'm going to talk about here in a second, which I've talked to you about a little bit before. But we're adding to those numbers. And
look at how cute she looks. What a nice police officer. She's cute. They're all nice. Look. They're just like her. She's smiley and cute.
Those are really establishing a good presence out on the system and getting good feedback. But this is what our Transit Police Division is here to do.
In case you haven't noticed, I mean, I don't know, Americans can't follow anything over time. They can't see any big picture. Americans are focused on today only. They don't think about what happened last year, what happened 10 years ago, what happened, there's no memory. Gore Vidal used to call it the United States of amnesia. But in case you haven't noticed, the city of Portland wants to hire an extra, 500 officers. Biden wants 100,000 new officers. And here we have TRIMET. So what you're seeing in front of your face is the establishment of a permanent police state. We already have it. It's already here. We already know that. But it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we have serious problems, folks. When this society crumbles, they're going to be ready. Come on. What happened? Oh, no.
Current activity.
Really kind of stepping in to support and efforts. Another one, if we go to the next slide. One of the also increase the presence on our system. And I'm showing you a picture of their uniform up there so you can kind of see the different uniforms of the group. When we get to the SRT, we actually have a live uniform here with us with Mo. So anyway, well, next slide, please. Transit security officers. This is an important group for us as well. You can see our staffing is at 96 currently. We were at 60 in June. So that tells you there's been a significant increase. So that's providing us a lot more capability as we do things like patrol Skidmore 24 hours a day and do different things that we're doing to really kind of establish presence capabilities. And next slide, please. So I'm thrilled to kind of talk with you today about our safety response team, and we actually have a couple members here to talk to you directly about the work they're doing. As you recall, this was a pilot program which began in September of last year. We've been tracking kind of performance and metrics related to their reaching out on the system and how often they're able to make contacts, etc. I'm really proud of this group.
They're from diverse backgrounds, and as we've seen, the fair Nazis are very diverse, but they're still Nazis. The diversity is really not making any impact other than there's now minorities doing the totalitarian bullshit rather than just white men. Very ingenious by the masters of our world. Let's put all these minority faces in here while we collapse your world. Very brilliant on their part.
This group is best in class. You're seeing a lot of things in our area. Portland Street Response, Rider Ambassador Program on the streetcar that are similar. But I'm biased, but I think this is best in class. These guys do great work, and I think you're going to see that as we bring folks up today to talk with you a little bit about how they're establishing presence. But just to kind of level set, we didn't have any of these professionals here last September, right? And now we have 48. That's a significant increase, and we expect that number to grow as well. They're doing excellent work, and I'll let them tell you about it here in a second. But next slide. I'm going to bring Beverly, who's a member of our team, up here in just a second. But before we do that, we're going to put on a video that we've used out in the community, show that to you, and then I'll have Beverly come up.
I can't hear you. Fucking idiot. Turn on the microphone. I can't hear a thing. Why are they so incompetent over there? What's going on? Turn on the microphone. Do something. Dumbass TRIMET. All this money paid to these people, and they're a bunch of fucking bozos.
Sure, you bet. I'll just say, I'll introduce Beverly Hermosillo, who's here with us, recently promoted, by the way.
They got no problem getting executives and making money over there, do they? Their transit system's in the toilet, but everybody's making money, so I guess it's all good.
You will see her on the video in uniform, but she's here in person anyway, so.
If I have to look at myself the whole time I do this, then I might not do as well as I had hoped. It's lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for having me here today. I was hoping for you to see the video so you could learn a little bit more about what we do before we got into it, but that's fine. I'd like to take a moment to just tell you a little bit more about who I am. Okay, well, maybe we can do it right.
Yeah, they do, huh? Different resources will you please describe these so-called resources? Can you please define it? Can you show us some statistics of how many people got resources?
Oh, there we are.
I need somebody. Okay, well, I don't know. Are they doing it? How do I know? Look, there she is. She's in action. Look. Can somebody go out and shadow them? Would TRIMET even allow it? I'd like somebody to shadow them for a day. Well, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's a great idea. Why don't you just goddamn go out and give away some passes? Now you're talking. You see these fear evaders, give them some passes. Okay, instead of doing the criminal thing, just give them a pass. How about that?
I hope it was worth the wait.
Well, it's all very nice on paper. Is it actually doing that? Come on, man. Come on, folks. I don't know.
Personally, I just like watching it just because I'm familiar with the person out there, so having it play over and over again might be really exciting. But I hope you all enjoyed it. Like I said, thank you so much for having me here today and for letting me have some time to speak with you, get to know you a little bit. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about who I am individually. My name is Beverly Hermosillo. I'm the program manager for the safety response team with PPI, and we're contracted through TRIMET. I grew up in a small town in California. I was raised by my grandmother, who immigrated here at 18 from Guatemala. She made a lot of sacrifices to give me the life she felt like she thought I deserved, as well as instilled in me a deep sense of generosity and kindness. It's always been a dream of mine to have a career in which I can utilize those skills and abilities to better my community, as well as make her sacrifices worthwhile.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say, man, maybe I don't know this person. I don't know what she's all about. Maybe she cares. Maybe she's a save them all, as we say. I don't know. We don't know anything about this program except what they're telling us at the board meeting. And we already know that everything at the board meeting is garbage. So we don't know.
Educationally, I have a bachelor's in psychology, and I'm currently obtaining my master's in social work here at our local PSU.
Well, that's the right personality there. They got the right person. That's the right person. That's actually who they should have for their bus drivers right there. Okay, I'm serious. Imagine having all bus drivers that had experience in dealing with mental health crisis, knew how to deal with difficult people.
I do plan to continue my education post-grad, but one thing at a time. I started at the SRT a little less than a year ago as a general member. I was a general member, moved to field supervisor, moved to shift supervisor.
Yeah, she moved up fast in 1 year from down in the field to the boss of them all.
And my most recent appointment of program manager.
Girl.
I am the only member to have performed every job within the SRT program, as well as have seen every transition, every change, and have been fortunate enough to be a part of all of the building blocks of what we've done here. In preparation for this meeting, I got with my team and we kind of just...
She's pretty good. Look, she's not looking at notes. She's just coming off. This is how you know how somebody intelligence is. When they can talk like that without notes, you know there's a higher IQ, because they're able to think and talk, and they can keep their thoughts organized when they're speaking. That's how you know there's a higher IQ. So she's obviously smart.
Discussed a few situations in which they'd like me to bring up here with you. We brainstormed
That's executive material right there, folks. I bet you she's going to be an executive someday.
for a little while, and by the end of our conversation, we had a whiteboard full of stories of interactions with people that we've spoken to and touched within the community, reasons why our work is meaningful to us. One in particular, there was a young man that we've been speaking to throughout the last couple of weeks on the system. When we initially encountered him, he wasn't very interested in getting to know who we were or what we did. But over time, due to our treatment and our work on community building, our relationship building within our community, he warmed up to us. We were able to have multiple discussions with him about his need and in ways that we could service him. And yesterday, he was able to call one of my members ready for assistance, and we were able to personally see that he was admitted to Hooper Detox for treatment. That is just one example of the maybe 50 we had on the board of the ways in which we've personally affected members of our community. There's a lot of work that goes into building a program like this, creating a new idea or tweaking things, discovering what works and what doesn't work. There are a lot of people who consider this program to be their baby, and I'm one of them, but it takes a village. I have a very diverse team from a variety of different backgrounds and experiences out there currently right now on the trains, speaking to members of our community about their needs and their issues. Like I said in the video, they're a team that is very dedicated to helping people and to becoming a valuable piece of this community. And 2 blocks down, there's an office with a whiteboard full of stories that act as a physical representation for us for dreams come true, including mine. So I'd really like to take some time and answer any questions that you might have about this place that's so meaningful to me and my team. This is Mo. Mo is in full uniform currently. I wanted to bring him along so that there's a physical representation of what we look like out there.
Yeah, okay. Let's, come on, front shot.
Open
Not
up
back
for
shot,
questions
front
for Beverly and others. We have 1 or 2 more slides that we'll wrap up with, but while Beverly's up here.
Front shot.
I have a couple of questions, not one on the safety response team, but a question as well. You said earlier that you do get cooperation out of the city of Portland and Peabody, I would imagine. My concern is also, do you get support out of the county on these adjacent properties that they're responsible for keeping cleaned up and that spill over onto TriMet property?
It's an excellent question. We have connected with lots of different agencies to do this work. And Multnomah County is one of them. And we have really good partnerships with Multnomah County. Obviously, our contract with the Sheriff's Office has allowed us to explore some different opportunities to partner with them even more. But I will say that, it's a difficult journey for them as well. And so establishing those partnerships, establishing momentum that we can do this in places like Skidmore, Old Town, and that's really helped because I think it's kind of, we're at the forefront of some very difficult things, and it's good to have peers and partners and showing them what we need from them to operate transit safely and reliable is really important to the process so that they can have a full understanding of what we need. And that's been something we've really worked on, particularly with the executive security meeting. But yes, we've had partnership with the county. Yeah.
Okay, and they are responsive.
Yeah.
Okay. My question for the safety response team, I know that you're out there and you have all these challenges on the daily dealing with the public. My question is, are you getting the support that you need when you're not there? When you leave work, do you have support so you're not taking it home with you?
Why don't you board members go out there and spend a day with them? Why don't you do something like where you can actually see what's going on? Why do you just sit at your desk there and pretend you know anything when you don't? Go out in the field. Go hang out with these people for a day. Oh, where's the sound? So we don't get sound, huh? Jesus Christ.
See if that works. Okay, cool. That's a fantastic question. As I said, there are a lot of pieces of creating this program and making this place function. One of the most important things that I feel we've created with my team is our team environment and our work environment with one another. We've really created an environment in which we lean on one another. We care for each other. I feel like it is a little organizational to say that we're a family, but I really feel that I feel that way, and a lot of my teammates feel that way. And so those conversations are taking place all of the time with one another. We've built an environment in which we are constantly checking in with each other. After an incident, we are checking in with each other. If we need to have a briefing on a situation, we do that at the end of the shift. If we need to discuss something that happened the day before, we do. We brainstorm ideas on how we can do things better each and every single day. In the moment, outside of the moment, I'm on call all of the time. When we have particularly stressful environments or situations that happen, I make it a point to reach out to my team throughout the weekend or throughout their days off. They don't want to answer, they don't have to, but just to check in on them to see if they're okay and if there's ways that we can support them. And so yes, we do have conversations continually about ways in which we can take care of ourselves outside of our workplace.
Do you have professional support as well in regards to counseling or if
What are
you
you
need to talk to
talking
somebody
about?
individually?
We do have a behavioral health.
These are goddamn adults, okay? They're not children, all right? They're adults. Adults are supposed to be able to handle these kind of things without running off to a psychiatrist every time something happens.
Health service opportunity or option with PPI. There's a phone number that individuals can call and get for free counseling sessions a year. And then a lot of our members seek to find services outside of that or speak with a professional that they've spoken with in the past as well.
See, no
Thank you.
notes.
Yes.
No notes. None.
I have a couple of questions. I've
This guy, you can sit down now, Mr. Whoever. You don't have to stand there like a fucking, oh God.
had on the MAX trains, I've had a couple of opportunities to talk to folks on the safety response team, and I'm very impressed with your dedication to the community. So thank you.
Dedication to the community.
Talk about when you encounter someone who's being disruptive, kind of what is
Yeah.
the protocol? What
Okay.
are the steps? And
Good
do you get
question.
the kind of support you need when you need to call in additional resources?
So
Yeah,
one of
for
my
sure.
favorite things to say with my team is everything is situational. We assess the situation for what it is in the moment. We have a team lead there to make any critical decisions right away. But we've also trained our teams to kind of understand what their strengths are and what roles they'll play. In stressful situations, we do that pretty well. We typically will have a member who is going to attempt, a member or two is going to go attempt to de-escalate this given situation. Through de-escalation strategies we've used both in our own experiences in life and education, as well as with the training strategies that we utilize within work. While another member works as an observant to kind of monitor the situation and ensure things aren't getting out of control, maybe pull those two back so that they're not so invested, they're not seeing everything. And then a member who is available to notify me or a supervisor and or radio into OCC if necessary. With everything new, our ability to learn how to utilize those communication skills has taken a little bit of time, but we've gotten much better. Not a lot of us come from an environment where we're using radios all over the time, so it did take a little bit. But since those have ironed out, we've had responses to the majority of our calls for assistance, yes. Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why, if you've seen them out there, Director Bauman, too, we do send them in groups for that kind of reason as well. It's good to have groups of folks
Yeah,
together.
they send them in gangs, and they should be broken up into pairs, but they send them in gangs.
And so if you see a team of SRT, that's intentional.
Yeah, we see it.
Yeah, I will say that in the year that we've been going, something that I'm proud of is that we've only had one minor assault in the whole year that we've gone with all of our members. And I mean, it was very minor. So I know that is not very common with a lot of the work groups that work here for TRIMET. So I think that our structure and organization has really been a part
That's
of
good.
the reason why.
Well, congratulations on you then. Then you're doing something right, aren't you? If you're out there dealing with people and you only had one person get pissed off.
Been able to stay really safe.
I have another question, if you don't mind. I want to go to the issue of the
still
Rapid
standing there.
Response Center that you're contemplating.
Yeah,
so
they're
I know that at max
The model is, you can sit down, Mr. Model.
stations, for example, there are cameras, but they are not monitored live, as I understand it. Is that going to be part of the rapid
Oh,
response
absolutely.
center?
Great question. Yes, Director Bauman. That's part of the intentionality of having a 24-hour response center is that they can utilize our camera system in real time and monitor certain situations. It takes a lot of staffing to monitor. We have over 8,000 cameras, so it takes a lot of staffing to monitor all the cameras, but certain targeted areas where we've had issues, that would be part of that group's responsibilities
We
data.
have 8,000 cameras, folks. 8,000. A very integral part of the United States security state. Public transportation is part of this whole police state structure.
Daily is to monitor those areas and report back into security. So
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for this great presentation and overview. I know that you have maybe 2 more slides left, so I may be, asking some more questions in advance. But
How long is this?
I do have a couple questions around the safety response
all right.
team.
We're gonna stop it because it's going on too long, but we'll pick this up another time. Over and out.